Okay, there's so much good stuff there. Let's focus a bit on vulnerability and really what makes the present day entrepreneurial journey, the founder journey, relatable, approachable is when people put themselves out there and are vulnerable. How did we get to this evolution where before what was highly regarded was being unapproachable?
Good question. I think, what I believe is there's so much bullshit out there in terms of fake scams and sales and everyone's saying that they're great, which, makes me believe that, we just have bigger bullshit meters. And when we see people claiming to be great or they have these expensive cars, we want that. We strive to have it. We follow them, we get burned. Now everyone's trying to play that game. I think when we actually take it back and then see someone who is being real and raw, our trust kind of goes up and you're thinking to yourself, man, if that person's willing to talk or put themselves through that, then how do I trust that they're going to help me with their product or their service? And there's one thing I've actually learned throughout the PR game or the service industry is that clients and customers in the end, they just want you to care as just much about their business as they do. And so if you can kind of show that you've put that much effort into your own life, then you've broken the one rule that I think that, or I shouldn't say the one rule, but the one issue I think majority of marketers have is that marketers can't market themselves. That's a problem, right?
Yeah.
Why would you hire someone who's not able to go and do what they've built for their own company and try to help you out at the same time?
Yeah.
And that's one thing I'm proud about of our team and everything we're doing. Like, we're entrepreneurial. We failed. We've learned. We've scaled. We've grown companies. We've raised money. We've done the whole investor game. I've been there before, and I'm excited to help people who are going through that or their next stage. Mm-hmm. And I'm never going to claim that, I can help you without doing it myself. So I think this trust comes through seeing what you've been through before, and allows you to put yourself out there in a way that connects with people. That's just the most important part.
Yes, and building that trust comes down to owning your story, becoming a storyteller. How do we make that transition from collectors, like you said, to becoming storytellers? It sounds like when you stepped on stage and shared that moment, that rock bottom moment, you made that pivot.
Yeah, founders aren't boring. We're not boring business people. It's a communication problem when we look at this. It's not an intelligence thing. It's an articulation type of game. I think a lot of us just don't understand actually how to take something that's a movement or in a story and create that story arc. And it's not that hard. It's just, how do we just be the guru and the leaders in the space that actually persuades people? And to do that, it's just telling stories in your journeys and the reason why you're doing for it. It's why people always say, document your journey and start putting it out there. There's about building influence. It's not building why you're great and taking over the world. It's promoting others that work with you and showing their journeys. Mm-hmm. We can connect through others through stories, but here's a fun little secret that I've learned as well too, is that if you want to be a hero in your space, if you want to be a champion in what you're doing, you don't promote yourself. You promote those that you've helped. You talk about their transformational journey. You talk about what they've done before, because as the byproduct, they're going to bring you up with them, but they look like the hero, they're getting featured, and you just actually look like the most important sidekick that got them there. And people want to work with a great sidekick, which goes back to, do you care as much about as my company as I do? And this shows that you do.
That is so on point, and it's something that you talk about that I really resonate with, because inadvertently on this journey that I've been on, I've been doing that by sharing my guest stories, because that's what I really care about, and their story of transformation. But in doing so, it means that I don't have the space to be out there constantly talking about me either. I wouldn't be doing that anyhow. But that balance of sharing the guest stories, which for someone like me is the equivalent of your product, also builds credibility and trust for the overall mission.
So I know we're going to get into our partnership later on while we're doing this, but trialing out some of my clients over to you and the feedback I've gotten them on, this was damn cool. Did you hear how I sounded? I never knew my story could come out like that. I've had these moments where when we started talking about working together, I have no clue. I heard some of your podcasts, but I didn't know how you operate on this new model. So when I hear about how happy my clients are, when I see their moments where they shine, when I can utilize this content a lot more, that just speaks numbers about who you are. And I wasn't focusing on you during that conversation. I was focusing on them and their story. You are unfortunately not the center of attention and can't be. But your job is not meant to be.
Exactly. No, thank you for saying that. And that's when you make that realization as a creator, you lift everything up. And it comes down to what you just said there before about leaning into your story. So this, and it's something that you discovered after the rock bottom moment, but during the trap tap experience. Does that realization, that aha moment about the power of story, is that gradual or does it just hit you one day?
I think it's more gradual. It's more experimentation. This doesn't just give me that aha moment like, oh my God, I just got to tell my story. It's how do I set a foundation that allows me to springboard off of that? And the most important part for myself was realizing, okay, how do I operate in a world of trust? And what I do in terms of PR, what you do in terms of your podcast is not about what everyone wants, because everyone wants leads. They want sales. That's the push comes to shove. You get that by forming trust. And so we're in the game of trust generation, not lead generation. Yeah. We're in that game where when somebody hears about you, when someone thinks about you, when they search you, or even when you knock on someone's door, they know who you are. Or when they Google you, they're like, holy shit, okay, yeah, I got to work with this person. Right? You're that person that's just primed and ready and good to go because you have that trust generation. You have that reputation that people can lean on and people want to work with. So it's gradual. It's an experimentation, but it's setting those boundaries of who I am and what I've done, who I've helped before. Yeah. Once you set this ground level, you start going to customer journeys and stories and talking about your expertise. But like every client I ever worked with, can you get me into Forbes? Buddy, you got to earn your stripes. Yeah. Like you want to go to the big out there? Great. I've made it happen before, but here's a fun little secret in PR. Outlets and the PR people themselves, they don't care about what's interesting. They care what drives clicks. Yeah. So if you're featured in a big outlet out there, do you think anyone who doesn't know you is going to click on you? Probably not. So you're going to come back and say, well, PR doesn't work. Yeah, no doubt. PR doesn't work if you do it the wrong way. But same with your storytelling. If you have some sort of progression, some sort of, way that people are following, then yeah, you have multiple storylines, multiple moments for opportunity, and multiple moments to tell stories in different ways around your product, your service, and what you're doing, because you are the guru in the space. You are the leader. This isn't your first or last hurrah. This isn't your first or last product or service. So why not paint a picture of who you are as a founder and a leader that sets the stability of trust so that when you are pitching these solutions, these multiple things that you're offering outside of who you are, they are the solutions to the problem you dictate as a founder and the stories that you tell. And it's actually that gap what creates interesting moments and interesting opportunities. You fail, you try, you keep telling your story.